Welcome to our Plant Finder web kiosk tutorial. I'm Terry Jones from Joy of Plants. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to set up your Plant Finder to display availability information and how to upload availability details into your Plant Finder. You can add availability info to all Plant Finders, that's websites and kiosks, that have a personalised plant list. The benefits of showing availability info. Showing availability info helps customers understand which plants are available at the current time and which plants will be available later in the year. It's not obvious, especially for new gardeners, that plants are a seasonal product and that some varieties aren't available all year round. Availability info can also be used to set customer expectations when particular plants are in short supply. You can also use the settings to offer alternatives for plants that you can't source. Showing availability info in your Plant Finder can reduce the amount of time staff spend answering customer questions about availability and price, so their time can be used for other things. I'll now show you where plants you stock and plant availability info appears in the Plant Finder. The Plant Finder is customised to show the plants you sell. Normally Joy of Plants will upload your plants we stock list for you as part of the Plant Finder installation. You can update the list yourself after installation using options in the Joy of Plants hub. You can see your plants we stock list by clicking on Find Plants by Name from the home page. The text that appears on the tab is customised to your company's chosen words when we set up your Plant Finder. You see it appears here as Our Plant Range, but other Plant Finders may have it set to Plants We Stock. When we first set up your Plant Finder, the availability settings are not switched on, and the Plant Finder does not display the availability message or availability details for plants. Our demo Plant Finder here has had the availability settings switched on, and we've uploaded some sample availability info. There are two types of availability info. The availability message is shown here underneath each plant name in the list. We have a list of standard messages that you can choose between for each plant. If availability settings are turned on, but you haven't yet uploaded your own availability message, then this text will say, Available when in season. If we click on a plant, we can see the availability message underneath the plant image. In the plant page, we also display the availability details underneath it. This availability details type of availability info is customised to you. You can add whatever text you like for each plant, including pot sizes and prices, or the names of alternative plants for plants that you aren't able to supply. If you haven't yet uploaded availability details, nothing will be shown. I'll now show you how to turn the availability settings on, and then after that, how to add availability info. To add availability info, you will need Chrome as your browser on the PC, your hub.joyofplants.com login details, Excel or LibreOffice for updating spreadsheets, detailed information on plant availability from your suppliers, or general plant availability info from your plant area staff. In summary, to add availability info, in hub.joyofplants.com, update the Plant Finder settings to show availability, then add the availability message and availability details to your plants we stock list, upload the availability message and availability details to your Plant Finder, and then check the Plant Finder. Go to hub.joyofplants.com. Log in using the manager username and password. Only the manager user is allowed to change the settings for your Plant Finder. You can tell which username you are logged in as. It is shown under the Logout option on the top menu. Click Settings on the top menu. Click Plant Finder on the left menu. If you want to turn on availability settings for a website Plant Finder, click Web Setup. If you want to turn on availability settings for a kiosk Plant Finder, click Kiosk Setup. Scroll down to the section for Availability Settings, Personalised and Premium Plant Finder Licensees Only. Select the checkbox for Show Availability Messages on Plant Info page. Then click Save. Now I'll show you how to add the availability info to your Plants We Stock list. Click Hub to go to the Hub homepage. Click Kiosk Website Plant Finder to go to the Plant Finder Content Management page. Scroll down to the Set Availability Info Optional section. Click the Availability Codes button. This shows the list of standard availability message texts we have and the codes you add to your Plants We Stock list to select them. We use codes as it's an easy way to add the messages to your Plants We Stock list. You might like to print this list out as a reference. Click the Chrome menu button and choose Print to print the page. Click the little X in the top right to close the list. Now we add the availability message codes and your availability details to your Plants We Stock list. There are two different ways to do this, depending on whether you use the Joy of Plants plant list to manage your Plants We Stock, we call this method 1, or whether you have stock lists from suppliers that you match and upload, we call this method 2. We will first look at method 1. In the Plant Finder Content Management page, click on the Download All Plants as a Spreadsheet button. Select the plant list to download. For most, the drop-down will only include one plant list, the default plant list. If you've set up multiple plant lists for different kiosk sites, then the list will contain more options. Click Get Plant List. This might take a few moments. Click the link for the XLS version of the file and save it where you normally keep your Plant Finder plant lists. Open the downloaded file using Excel or LibreOffice. You may need to click the Enable Editing button at the top. Before you make changes, use Save As to make a copy of the file to keep the original as a backup. Give it a suitable name, for example, Availability Update. We'll change the column width so we can see the Include Plant and Botanical Names, the columns for plant availability and availability details, and also the column for online sale URL. You can see in our spreadsheet, here, we have details for the plant Abelia Edward Gucha. The Y in Include Plant means the plant is on our Plants We Stock list. We have 1 in the plant availability column, so this plant is going to show the availability message text for code 1, which is generally available, please call to check. And we have the text from $9.99 for 3 litre pot. So that is what will be displayed for the availability details in the plant page for this plant. We can also see a URL link in the Sale URL column. This is the URL for the plant page in our webshop that is linked to our Plant Finder. We can now search for other plants that we want to add availability info for, then add the code to the plant availability column and our custom text to the availability details column. Save changes when we are finished. Then we go back to the hub in our browser. Click Main Menu to go back to the Plant Finder Content Management page. Click Upload the updated spreadsheet. Click Choose File. Find your saved file and click Open. Click Upload. It may take a few moments to process your file. Underneath the window showing the list of plants, there are buttons to choose how to update the list. Click Accept Changes Replace Existing at the right-hand side to update the existing list. Now go to the Plant Finder to see the effect of your changes. In the Plant Finder, click Find Plants by Name. Look at the plant Abelia Edward Gucha. Open the plant. You can see the availability message and availability details, so we've successfully uploaded our availability info. We'll now look at method 2, add availability info from a supplier stock list. Open the supplier stock list in Excel. Here we have a list of ferns from Wyvale Nurseries. In this supplier stock list, there are a few things we need to do to upload availability info to the plant finder. First, we add a column for plant availability and another for availability details. We can see this supplier has the same plant in different pot sizes. The plant finder has just one copy of each plant, so we need to remove duplicates as we process and add our availability details. To the plant availability column, we add the code for the availability message. For example, we add 4 for the message generally available in store and online, or 33 for available to order. To the availability details column, we add the custom text to display for each plant. You can add pot sizes, prices, and details of expected delivery dates for orders. If the plant is not available due to supply issues, you might even add the name of a suitable substitute plant. I'm going to add details of the different pot sizes available for each plant to the availability details, and then remove the duplicates. Lastly, we note the column for plant names and the row that plant names start on. In our case, column B and row 9. Then we save the file. Now we go back to hub.joyofplants.com in our browser. On the Plant Finder Content Management page, use the Match Your Stock List button to match the stock list to the Joy of Plants library. You'll need to add column B for the plant names, and plant names start at row 9. Then download the matched file. Extract the matched file from the zip and open the matched file in Excel to check the match is made. All our plants were matched to the Joy of Plants library, so we have Joy of Plants plant names and PID numbers for each of them. Note down the column for JoP PID numbers, J, and row number 9, and the column used for the plant availability and availability details, in our case columns F and G. Now we go back to hub.joyofplants.com in our browser to upload the matched file. Click the Upload Matched Stock List button to upload your matched file that includes the availability info. Select the column for plant names, J, and the starting row number, 9. Click on the drop-down and select the plant list to change. We have just one. Leave the Add Plants radio button selected as we are adding plants to our list. Select the column for plant availability and availability details. In our case, columns F and G. Click Next. It may take a few moments to upload your plant list. Now we'll go to the Plant Finder to see the effect of the changes. In the Plant Finder, click Find Plants by Name. Search for the plant Asplenium scolopendrium. Open the plant. You can see the availability message and availability details we added, so we've successfully uploaded our availability info from our supplier's stock list. Before we finish, I'll answer some frequently asked questions. What do I do if I source plants for the same category, for example ferns, from more than one supplier? Add a new column with the supplier's name to each supplier's list, then copy the content of all the supplier lists to the same spreadsheet, making sure to align the columns of details. Match the plant names in the spreadsheet to the Joy of Plants library to generate the JoP PID and plant name. Sort the list by the JoP PID number to bring duplicates together, no matter who is the supplier. Then add the plant availability message and availability details for each plant and delete any duplicate plants. When choosing which duplicate to keep, you might choose to keep the variant for the supplier you consider to be the main supplier for the plant. Then upload your plant availability to the plant finder as normal. How often should I update the availability info in the plant finder? As often as you want to, based on your business needs. Some of our clients do it once at the start of the season to give their customers a general idea of when plants are available. Others do it weekly based on actual availability lists from their suppliers. Can I change the title on the Our Product Range tab in the Plant Finder? Yes, the person with manager access can change this in hub.joyofplants.com under Settings, Plant Finder, Customization. Can I add links to my webshop pages from the Plant Finder? Yes, you can do this if you have a premium Plant Finder. Just add the URL links to the Sale URL column in your Plants We Stock list before uploading it. Contact support@joyofplants.com if you need more help. What do we do about plants we sell that only matched at genus or species level? Either add availability info for the genus or species, or you can add new varieties of plants yourself if you have the Add and Share Plants upgrade turned on in your account. You will need a good image for which you own the copyright and full details about the plant to do this. And lastly, some troubleshooting tips for problems you might come across. I can't upload my plant list for matching. It gets stuck, or I get an error. Make sure you selected the correct column for the plant name. Or there may be an issue with matching a specific plant in your list. Please send a copy of the list you're trying to match to support@joyofplants.com and we'll take a look at it for you. My matched plant list doesn't have anything in the JoP plant name and JoP PID columns. Check that you selected the correct column for your plant names when you uploaded the file to the plant name list matcher. Popular plants is shown as the title instead of Our Plant Range or Plants We Stock in the plant list in the Plant Finder. Contact support@joyofplants.com to update your plant finder to use your personalised plant list. I've uploaded availability info, but it's not shown in the plant finder for my website and/or kiosk. Check that availability settings is switched on in hub.joyofplants.com. Go to Settings, Plant Finder. For your website, go to Web Setup and check that availability settings is switched on. For your kiosk, go to Kiosk Setup and check that availability settings is switched on. Then refresh your Plant Finder web page to update for any changes to settings. You've reached the end of our video now. Thanks for watching. Watch the next tutorial in our series by clicking the video link here, or subscribe to our YouTube channel for all our videos.